Hello, my name is Pramit Gautam, and today I'm presenting my cloud based web application as part of my assignment 2. So, as you can see on the screen, this is VS Code. I've already SSH'd into my EC2 instance, and the app is fully Dockerized. I was just going through the logs. Let me just clear this. So, yep. Let me just scroll through. Yep, I have already started my composed file. This is my Docker Compose running on port 8080. Port 80 was occupied. And this is the Docker file. Is taking into account Postgres and Sequelizer server as well. We'll dive more into the coding aspects a bit later after the review of the application. So yep, here it is. And yeah, the build has already been made. And yeah, so let's just go into Chrome and go into our public IP. So this is localhost, we don't need that for now. Alright, so yeah, this is the escape room builder. As you can see, some values are already set. That's because I was just playing around this beforehand. You can set the timer to any amount, it will start the countdown. We can set the number of layers, we can reduce or increase them, and you might be seeing all these buttons popping up. Those are just for setting up the puzzles and setting up the hints, whatever it may be. So this is obviously a passcode entrance. There is a hint, I already typed it out. Yep, so these are all these buttons. You can set the hint, I've already set them up. And this section particularly is just to let the players know how the game goes. So it's a good idea to set this as the first layer anyway. So yep, we can set that, we can edit that. And likewise, I'll just walk you through all the layers. This one just places hint. For this one, we need to access this quiz itself through a particular sequence of digits or any secret code that the user can set the hint for, and we can just add new questions. As you can see, I have added these two questions and the corresponding answers that will be matched. So yeah, let's add this three questions. There you go. So that was the second layer. I should have actually done it over here. Oh, okay. That's the first layer. Let's set this as the second layer. All the progress are stored. And the third layer is the archive. We need to solve the blanks and all the hints are scattered around. The data center, the user needs to find the keys to access the hidden question and answers. All of this can be properly set up, which we'll see pretty soon. And this one, we just set up a sequence and a drag and drop interface appears for the user and they can just manage through that. And at any time, if you want to see like what the user is seeing without having to export the whole app, you can just switch on the player mode. All the buttons disappear, the timer counts down. There we go. So this is unarranged now. This is not the original arrangement since we're in player mode, and we should try our best to arrange them. A, B, C, D, E. That seems right. And they can just pass to the next layer. We'll see the actual gameplay later on when I set up the puzzle nicely. So yep, that's pretty much it. So if I want to save all my progress, there's a button right here for it as well. Let me click it through. There we go, saved successfully. If we check the logs, oh yeah, it's already on. So sorry, this is my local host. So yeah, all the logs are seen here. The app is also instrumented, so it goes in quite detail, the logs. Let's go here. Alrighty, so that's pretty much how the functionality of the app goes. There's obviously an export button, which I'll come back and set up the puzzle properly so that we can check it out and go through the game. So yeah, once you click the export button, it will just download fast as such. And see, it's a completely standalone layer that has the same question set as we saw. So that's the layer 1. We set this up, and yeah, it spits out the HTML. It's quite handy. There we go. So yeah, it automatically moves to the second layer. We need to just answer to unlock in this one. So basically, yeah, that's the whole interface. We get to build our own thing, set how many layers we want. We can toggle between edit and player mode, and also export our app. That's pretty much the whole UI of it. And now let's dive into the coding. Yeah, we have connected to our EC2. Let's open up our files. So most of the activities obviously are happening within the escape room page. If you can find it, yep, that's the escape room. That's the all the components that I've used, and this is the page.tsx. So let's just briefly go over it. So yeah, these are all the components, all those buttons and pop-ups, and we have used tsx. That's the component right there. Lots of state variables, obviously, for setting the questions, setting the expected answers. That's to be expected, right? And yep, use that's how we load the session. All the backgrounds are here. And to convert, as you just saw, to convert the whole app in Next.js into plain HTML playable format, I definitely had to utilize Cloud AI to convert all those dynamic interfaces into vanilla JavaScript and apply all those stylings. So I think it did a pretty well job, although it took a lot of time. So this is just spitting out raw HTML and plugging in all the values like as such. So it's just plugging our values from our app into static HTML form. That's all it does. And there's quite a bit. And yeah, so these are all the buttons. As you could see, all those plus buttons floating about. These are the definitions. There was a better way to do it, but yeah, I just nested all of them in. It made them work, and they set off a particular pop-up message based on which the individual pop-up is rendered in the main written container, as you can see. I'll show you an example. So yeah, it also takes into account if you are in preview or player mode. That sets up different pop-up rather than in edit mode. So that's pretty much the main file. Other than that, yeah, so we have configurations, and to yeah, so this is the configuration of the SQLizer and Postgres. In development mode, we have used it locally, and that's yep. And on modals, we have, I'll show you modal. This is the modal I used for the escape room. All the data types, all the state variables that were relevant to store are stored here. And yeah, it's a bit lost. Let me see if I can pull up the logs. Yeah, as you can see, all the logs are stored here because I've very well instrumented it. So yeah, instrumentation comes in this form. It every single request has its own particular ID so that it's easier to track at what point is it failing. And yeah, there's lots of debugging steps. Everything is wrapped around in try-catch blocks as well. So this was really helpful to decrease the error error percentages later on we'll see in JMeter. So yeah, that's as far as instrumentation went. And yeah, obviously if we just keep on saving, the database will upload, it will update to show all the changes. So that's the root front end part of it, and now we'll dive into testing. At some of the testing, I've primarily tested the database functionalities, whether or not if it's connecting properly to the database, if it's retrieving all those data. So we have obviously used Playwright test as taught in the labs. So we have connected to this port. That's a mockup client. That's our client. And yep, that's our test. And the second test is just the extraction from local storage, because that's the primary method through which we are actually persisting users' data, is through their local storage session ID. Since we don't have a login system yet, that would, if we had, we would use user's name as the primary reference. So yeah, it's mainly about saving the module and the contents in the session ID, retrieving and connecting to the database. That's how we set it up. So if we execute it, alrighty. Alright, so one passed, one there's still problem. We'll still have to look into it. That's fine, at least the testing revealed something. So that's as far as Playwright test goes. If we come over to load testing, I've already, let me bring up my face. I've already set up JMeter to target here. Yep. So those were, yeah, so HTTP post requests targeting here on port 3000. I'm doing this test locally, and yep, so 30 users per second. Let's just run the test. Visualize the tree. Yeah, it's coming up quite successful. Where's the terminal so that I can show you? So see, all the response are 201, which means a success. If we go and view the error rating on aggregation report, that's pretty much 0%. So that's a good news. That's a good news. The tree reveals, yeah, previously I had lots of errors connecting to the databases, but now it's solved. So that revealed a lot. I'm sure if lots of users are added in, it will definitely slow down. It's just a matter of time. Yep, that's all about the testing.